joined now by Kelsey Kahle, a outstanding basketball player from 2006 to 2009, and I can say now, officially, a Hall of Famer. Being inducted tonight in the Portland State Hall of Fame, and that's got to make you feel pretty good.
It's a huge honor. I have such good memories from playing at Portland State that it just kind of, I know a lot of athletes can't look back and say that it ends just picture perfect, but I can say that I was just happy with the whole time, and it's just kind of the last closing deal on a really awesome opportunity on a really great time here.
For those of you not familiar with Kelsey, let me give you a rundown of some of her accomplishments. She holds the Portland State career record in points with over 2,049 points, holds it with rebounds, 879. She's the only player in PSU history with over 2,000 points, and she's in the top 10 in 10 other categories. I mean, I could go on and on. She had 41 points here in the Stott Center against Sac State. Now, the thing that's so impressive that I've talked to people about with you people, is they don't realize that you basically played out of position your entire career. You're what, 5'10", 10 with shoes, and and had to play in the post position against people that were 6 feet and above, you know, and not just height-wise, but just the intensity and the battle and the physicality of that position. And for you to accomplish those things, that to me is what is amazing about that. You know, how did you feel having to play in that post position?
Well, things just worked out. I mean, I didn't know that I was going to Portland State until the spring of my senior year of high school, and signed in that late signing period, and was recruited as a guard, was recruited as an off guard, and it just so happened that, you know, our starting center, Monica, tore her knee that year, and our backup center tore the ligaments Marcy in her ankle that year, and they slid the forward into a center position. They were looking for somebody else who could fill that in, and I ended up being the next candidate in line, so it just kind of, it worked itself into that situation. I remember being really frustrated my first year and calling home and saying, "Oh my God, how do you even get a shot off in here? People are huge, you know. This is difficult. This, you know, my dad, you'll figure it out. My brother, you'll figure it out. You'll figure it out." And so just sticking with it. Yeah, I remember frustration and working through that, but I had a lot of support too from the coaches and staff and from my teammates. And
what people don't realize is you might be 5'10", but you jump out of your shoes. I mean, your jumping ability. There were so many times where you jumped center for us, and you know, it was like sometimes a 5 to 6 inch difference. And I kept saying on the broadcast, you watch, Kelsey will out-jump the center. And you did that so many times, you just had that natural ability to sky.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think much of it. I did track, you know, all through high school and did the high jump there, and just thanks, Dad, for that, I suppose.
Developed your springs in the high jump.
Yeah.
Well, talking about high school, you come from a very small town, just south of Portland, Aurora, a very small town, small high school, and then to come to a Division I school and have the career you had. You know, I've always say a lot of times those small schools, you get some outstanding players because of the work ethic.
Thank you very much.
Your work ethic was outstanding, and I'm sure that started from your family and from being in a small town.
Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky to have had people hold very high expectations for me along the way, and I think of that as an opportunity. You might not while you're going through it, but to look back, hindsight's a beautiful thing, and to look back, I can thank, you know, high school coaches, I can thank my parents, I can thank Charity Elliott, who recruited me, and, you know, teaches you to run, taught her athletes to run through a wall and keep going. So I thank people for being given the opportunity to develop that discipline and that willpower as well. So yeah, absolutely.
One of the other things I always tell people about Kelsey Kahle, she's probably one of the most competitive persons you would ever want to know. Even her family don't want to play cards or any kind of games with her because of the competitiveness. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a switch, but it's hard to figure out when to turn it off. We're a very competitive family, though, everybody top to bottom. So, it makes those holidays and playing cards pretty interesting.
A couple of your big memories from being here in the 4 years. Had a lot of success in your time here. What are a couple memories that really stand out for you?
Gosh, I have several. I've been thinking about this the last couple of weeks, but probably one of the biggest ones is just kind of the transition from coming in. They won, Portland State won 3 games the year before. A big recruiting class came in our freshman year, and we had 7 new people, and we had seven returners. And the excitement from having, like, I think the nation's 12th biggest turnaround in D1 schools that year, and then to just build on that every year and to watch what was going on. I mean, it was very impactful to watch what was going on with the crowds starting to come and watch girls basketball. I remember, this is idiotic, but I remember being so excited when A, the cheerleaders started cheering at a girls game, and B, when they put up those black, like, crowd control
signs.
Signs on the court. So people wouldn't get on the court, and that band, you know, it just, to watch it build and the excitement from being followed. I mean, it's a commuter school, but you have a following of athletes and just community members that got involved. It was just so much fun by the end to think that we got to host. I remember getting the phone call that we were going to be able to play a home game against University of Portland in the first round of the
NIT.
The WNIT, and being so excited to be able to come back to the Stott and then to see it full from maybe 200 or 300 people the first couple games our freshman year, my freshman year, to see it packed full that last game my senior year. And that was one of the biggest, one of my best memories of being able to play here is just topping it off with that win against, against UP, and seeing it having had a transformation.
Absolutely. Now you're teaching, you're coaching. How does it feel to be on the other side of it?
I've always loved coaching, and teaching's a little bit similar to that. You're working with maybe not people who are choosing to be there all the time as you would with athletes, but I like it a lot. I love working with individuals. I love working with that age, that high school age that I'm down there teaching English. And I know that that's not everybody's favorite subject, but I like the challenge, and I like to figure out how to connect with those kids and see if we can figure out how to get them through the material. And same thing, seeing people's success is really exciting for me.
You mentioned it's your 4th year of teaching. I can't believe it's been 4 years since you were playing here. I mean, it seems like just yesterday that you were playing here, but, I'm really looking forward to being there tonight for the induction and seeing you and all the other great athletes. It's nice that it's female loaded this year of our Hall of Fame inductees, but, you should feel very proud of, when you come in as a freshman, when you leave a program, you want to feel like you made a difference and look back and, did I have any part of making a difference? And you made, that era when you were here made such a difference in this women's basketball program. You were always so fun to watch because you gave it all you had. And I mentioned the physicality of having to play inside. You rarely were hurt. I mean, you might have been hurt, but you never sat out.
Yeah.
You were as tough as nails, and that is also extremely impressive. So, I want to thank you for all you did for Portland State women's basketball. You always represented Portland State such a positive way, so deserving of being a Hall of Fame inductee. Kelsey Kahle, thanks for joining me.